and I welcome you all for today's session 9 in Unit 1 of Understanding of Vector-Based Graphics. Let us see the topic which I am going to in this session. Today we will discuss about saving the file formats using Illustrator software along with some multiple choice questions. Now we will understand the file formats, saving file formats one by one. In Illustrator software, we can create it or we can the default file we can save it in different file formats. In many different formats we may call it as. There are mainly four basic file formats. For the first file format is .ai, .pdf, .aps and .svg. .ai and .pdf, .aps and .svg stands for file extension to which we can save the artwork. These formats are called native file formats because they can preserve all the Illustrator data or the information. First one is native. In this it comes .ai. Second one is Illustrator APS. Third one is Illustrator PDF. And next is Scalable Vector Graphics. Let us see the native file format. Normally, whichever is the application, then the extension will come in the heading of the software. In Adobe Illustrator, the file extension comes in .ai. These files open particularly in the application software which is used Illustrator software. Only that it will open. Remaining any other vector graphics editor, it will not. Sometimes it may open, but we cannot edit it. The native file format ensures all the functions of the program will continue to work on that file. Next, saving in a format other than the native format converts certain elements to form that the other format can use. The other formats also we can create it using Illustrator software and convert some features so that it can open in a particular application software. While we are working, it is much more efficient to work in the native format. To work smoothly in a particular software, we require a particular native file format. In Adobe Illustrator, the file extension is .ai. The AI stands for Adobe Illustrator file. Each and every person can easily identify to edit that file format, which application software is required, so that he can understand easily by identifying the extension of file. Next is .aps. It is a commonly used file format in all the printing industry along with for the printing application. Illustrator graphics is going to use for a page layout. It needs to be encapsulated PostScript format for the further pre-processing or the pre-press work. APS formats can contain the PostScript code as well as the preview so that we can see the image on a screen and work with it in your page layout program. One of the advantages of .aps file format or Adobe Illustrator APS format, we can edit and we can manipulate and modify that in Illustrator software along with other vector graphics editor software also. We can open this type of file format and we can modify and save it for the further use. The examples of the other vector graphics edit softwares are CorelDRAW or Freehand. The Illustrator PDF. The native file format of Adobe Acrobat and PDF files are now very common. This file can be saving whatever we have created in Illustrator file, Illustrator application software can be saved it as Illustrator PDF so that it can be easily open in a Adobe Acrobat, and wherever you want you can view it and send it for printing so that it becomes device independent or operating platform. Next is .svg. Whatever we have created in a Illustrator software, that can be saved in as a .svg so that easily it can be coded of extensive XML language so that it will help to open in a default web browser or worldwide web applications. Before going to the MCQ, I will show you how to create the native file formats using Illustrator software. Before that, I will open the Illustrator software. Click on the Illustrator software icon to open the application software. Depending upon the speed of the system, it will open fastly or quickly. Let us wait for a few seconds until it opens. So you click on the new page, click OK. Now I will draw a rectangle and I will fill the color. Go to File. If you click Save, it is default, obviously save it for a native file format of .ai, or else if you click Save As, here in the Save As type, you can see the different native file form. One is Adobe PDF, Illustrator EPS, or template, or .svg. Now we will see the difference, what will happen if we save it one by one on the desktop. Now we are saving it by a Adobe Illustrator file format. Save. After that, OK, go to File, Save As, click on Adobe PDF, click Save, then save a PDF, go to File, click Save As, and then click Illustrator EPS. Go to File, click Save As, and save it for SVG. Now we will see how it has been created, the file formats in the desktop. So you can see it here, Adobe Illustrator. Now is the second one, and that is SVG, EPS, and a PDF. This is how. Adobe Illustrator native, the file size is 1.1 MB and the PDF is very small size, in kilobytes. The same what we have designed is, because we have already discussed this PDF file size is less and it is independent to open in any other platform or any operating devices. The Adobe Illustrator EPS is a little bit more than a PDF, but it consisting of all the information of the created software, and we can open in other vector graphics software to we can edit and modify that. The last one is .svg. It is when compared to all the three file formats, it is very less the file size and it is coded in XML language, so it directly opens in the default web browser. We'll show it. Whatever we have created in Illustrator software, it will open in a Microsoft Edge. Wait for a second, depending upon the system, thus it will open. It is the box which we have created in Illustrator that will open in a web browser. The file extension, see, the box is open in Illustrator. The coding of the HTML is automatically written in the file format. Now we will see the multiple choice question. The dash of the data depends on the file format that we choose. Let us see the options. One is format, type, structure, and none of the above. Always the file formats data depends on the file. What is the, you have to think it, either format or the type or the structure. Okay, whichever may be the data, that has to be save it to open in a file format, open in either native file format or non-native file format. This is the clue for this question. Next, this statement. There are 4 basic file formats to which we can save the artwork in Illustrator software. Main file formats, which can be used in open in a Illustrator software, so that it consisting of all the Illustrator features, whether this statement is true or false, or you can see the options PSD, BMP, JPEG, EPS. Second option is AI, PDF, EPS, SVG. Third option is BMP, JPEG, PNG, PSD. The last option is none of the above. In the first one, we have a bitmap along with a vector. In the second, we have to see this. Clue for this question, answer is for this question is all the 4 formats are vector based. It should be open in any vector graphics editor. This is the clue for this question. Next, dash is the native file format for Adobe Illustrator. For example, I will give first see the options .a, .psd, .cdr and .doc. .doc, the clue for this question, the answer for this question, the clue is .doc stands for a Word file, .cdr stands for a Corel Draw, .psd stands for a Photoshop document. Next question. Document saved in a dash format can be viewed on almost any computer. Let us see the options .eps, .pdf, .cdr and none of the above. The clue for this to answer this question is the file format should be independent of platform, or it can be opened in any other operating devices. This is the clue. Next question. If any artwork export in variety of file formats for use outside of Illustrator, these formats are called dash formats. Let us see the options. Native, non-native, file and none of the above. See, carefully observe the question. Artwork export in a variety of file formats for use of outside of Illustrator. These formats are called, he is asking the question, outside the Illustrator software. It can be open in Photoshop or other Photo Paint or other some other thing. So it should not be there. Particularly it will open and you can edit it. It may be open and we cannot edit. That is the clue for this question to answer. Next question. Illustrator PDF supports both dash and dash information. Let us see the option: dot and size, image and structure, vector and raster, and none of the above. See, always it should be open for both the things. It can be support for lines and drawings or the pixel based. This is the clue for this question to answer. Scalable vector graphic files are used, the dash. Normally, let us see the options: image editing, net, World Wide Web, and none of the above. The clue for the question to answer: it can be easily uploaded, but it is coding with the XML language. Normally, you know that HTML and XML language where it is used. And thank you all once again.